In this unit, I give an introduction to finding and specifying solutions for the design of interactive systems according to the human-centered design approach. Here you see the learning objective for this unit. This is the overview diagram of the activities in human-centered design of interactive systems. In previous chapters, we have clarified that the context of use is the basis for creating interactive systems with a high human-centered quality, and that we should specify valid user requirements in order to be well informed when we now start designing solutions. Now we will talk about what this activity of producing design solutions actually consists of and what the deliverables are that we produce here. As with the other activities that we already covered in this course, I have some interesting quotes for you that exemplify important aspects of the activity of producing design solutions. I actually have two quotes for you this time, and the first quote is from Tom and David Kelly, who are the founders of the company IDEO. IDEO is a design and innovation consultancy who made design thinking well known in the business field. They didn't invent it, but they made it very well known. And the quote goes like this: "If a picture is worth 1,000 words, a prototype is worth 1,000 meetings." This points you towards the thing that when we start designing solutions, it is very valuable to create tangible work products as soon as possible. So something that people can relate to, which they can easily understand, and that fosters discussions and makes it easy to come up with better solutions or to correct an approach that was taken early on. And I have a second quote for you, which is from Dieter Rams, who is a well-known German industrial designer, who once said, "To impress, to polish things up, to make things chic is no design at all. This is packaging." This means designing solutions is first and foremost about conceptual design and generating basic ideas, and it is about innovation. It is not just about the surface. So let's look at the activities and at the deliverables that we have here when developing a design solution. And these are organized in 3 phases for this course here and in the CPUX-F curriculum. The first phase is called early design. Here we take all the input that we have available, so especially the context of use information and the user requirements, and we try to come up with a basic approach of how an interactive system should support users in executing their tasks. And this can result, doesn't have to, but can result in task models for design. So we take the task models that we got from the context of use analysis or from wherever we have information about what is the task that is to be supported. And it might be that in the light of our new creation, our new interactive system, that the task model needs to be changed so that certain steps, for example, are automized or other things might happen. So task model for design is a deliverable that we have here. And then we create use scenarios, storyboards, and user journey maps, or to-be user journey maps, to, you could say, tell the story of how the interactive system is thought to support the users in executing their tasks. And you might recognize that we do not here have the term prototype yet. So before even creating any prototype, we can come up with some deliverables that already make it tangible what our basic concept, our basic idea is of how the interactive system should support the users. We are actually not going to say anything in this chapter here about the user journey maps anymore, because there's just the idea we take the user journey maps that we have from the context of user analysis, and it's just not the as is status, but it's the to be status. So how would the user journey look like in the future in light of our new interactive system? When we have the early design and we have the basic ideas of or the approach towards the interactive system, then we can go about creating first drafts. So creating especially prototypes, low fidelity prototypes and wireframes. And now we start thinking about the information architecture. We're going to clarify what exactly is the information architecture, and one part of it is already mentioned here, which is the navigation structure. And we also start here now in evaluating the designs rather thoroughly. And after the first drafts, we come to the refined design, which is the third phase. And when refining, we create or might create high fidelity prototypes. This is the area where we are concerned with visual design. It might be that as a byproduct, we create a style guide. For example, if you have a very big project with a lot of UI designers who are supposed to create designs that are consistent, then you might develop a style guide. And user assistance is here a topic, so creating the user assistance in all details. And in the end, it's typically the case that we create a user interface specification as input for the developers to technically create the interactive system. So that is the overview of the different phases of designing solutions and the different deliverables. We're actually not going to say anything about the methods that are used to create all these different deliverables, except for one exception when we talk about navigation structure, where we're going to talk about the method card sorting. But unfortunately, any other methods are out of scope for this foundation level course, and we have to refer you to the advanced level designing solutions, so CPUX-DS. Now, these three phases that you see here, early design, first drafts, and refined design, are not independent of each other. And it's not always the case that it goes from left to right. So it's not always just waterfall, but also we learn something later on in the design, like in the refined design or first drafts, where we have to go back to an earlier step and make corrections. So we have recursions here, we have interdependencies, and of course also we iterate within each of the phases. So, for example, creating first drafts and directly evaluating them like a low fidelity prototype, making corrections, and later on also with high fidelity prototypes or even with a style guide, which you can evaluate and then correct if necessary, so that we achieve a high level of human-centered quality for all work products. And it's quite typical actually that when developing design solutions, we have a lot of iterations. So a lot of work products that get evaluated either within the project group or with some stakeholders or with users. One last note on the contents of this chapter: the topic of visual design is also unfortunately not in scope of the foundation level. This is also something that we have to keep in the advanced level CPUX-DS. So that's it for this introduction into this activity area of developing design solutions. In the next unit, we will start working our way through the different deliverables that you see here on the slide, and we start off with the task model for design.